Hi guys, this is Mark Teaches Music and I'm Mark Black and you're at my improv workshop. This is session 50 and today is the 28th day of September 2023 and I want you to have fun and be awesome. I just like to mention that me and everybody else who wears glasses on the internet, I'm trying to get this battle of the reflections and I'm losing. So anyway, at the improv workshop, we're trying to learn how to get better improvising and ad-libbing, improvising, and making up great melodies. And I know that you can do that. And so we're learning together. I certainly am learning myself. So just by the way, for more information about lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com. And there's information about lessons there and descriptions of me and stuff like that. And then, if you have a question, you put it in the comments and I'll answer. And of course, you can email me at mark@dallasmusiclessons.com anytime. And so below this, there's links in the description here that have the a link for the chart and the scales to use in this. This is a blues, and this will be our song today. Will be a blues in B flat. And so we're not just ad-libbing here. We're trying to get better. So just by the way, in our getting better, I'll stop and say stuff that I think is important, that I think of while we're doing stuff. And if I were you on those the scales and also the chart, I would print that out if it were me. So anyway, if you have a request for a style that we haven't done, and there's 50 of these, and there's not just 50 of these to ad-lib. Most of them have two. So there's really like about 100 different. I don't know how many styles. Say 10, 15 styles, 2 or 3 in several, 2 or 3 in each of several styles, many different keys and stuff like that. And so some of the easy, some are harder, some are jazz and rock and blues and R&B and country and all kind of stuff. So I would look through if it were me, and I would get some of those and listen to find some that I think were great. And if you have a style that you haven't heard or you haven't had enough of, say, hey man, I'd like to hear this style, and including I play some different instruments, and so I try to play on different instruments different times, because I'm not trying to say here's how you ad-lib in guitar, or here's how you ad-lib on the ocarina, but rather here's ad-libbing period. So in playing different instruments and listening to different instruments gives you ideas, because this certain thing is easy to do on, let's say, a stringed instrument, and it's difficult to do or unusual to do on an instrument, a woodwind, let's say. So anyway, the idea of doing different instruments teaches us different things. So anyway, but if you have requests, you want to hear, I haven't heard you play the mandolin in a while, or I haven't, when are you going to do, tie nose flute playing? Put it in the comment, and I'll see what I can do. So and then if you like this, you're supposed to hit like and hit subscribe and hit the notification button, and please share this with people. Get other people to come. I got my glasses tilted up. It looked like, to me, these glasses, they're round, but they look like horn rim glasses, But anyway, I got them tilted up to try to minimize the glare. I don't think succeeding. The things I have to read are what's giving me that glare. So if you send me your email, I'll send you a copy of this track, and so you can use it and ad-lib to it. And then you need to keep coming back, come back to this many times and ad-lib with the ideas going back and forth in the comments I make, and that would include all these other tracks, like I was saying. So, so if you didn't learn the song, or you got cooler things that you want to do, come back and do it again and again. So some guidelines about ad-libbing here tonight is number one is that I need to change this page because I can't see. So again, there's links in the description that you should use to see what scales. I'm talking about to get the scales and the chart too. And so don't just sit there when we're playing. Jump right in when it's your turn, and you might need a few minutes to kind of get oriented. And I'm trying to say stuff like, "Hey, do this. Hey, do that." But the idea is, as soon as you can, just jump right in and start playing. Best way to learn is to jump in and make some mistakes and discover new things to do. And like I said, shoot your questions and comments in there as soon as possible, so I could get back to you and say, "Hey, you're like, well, I'm like, well, say, this piece of paper that you got I've got a pattern, patterns for you to play, and it's like, hey, use this pattern or this scale, and you say, well, I tried it and it didn't work. Well, if I can fix it or help it, I'd like to know it and fix it as soon as possible. So don't wait. Go ahead and get your questions in there, and don't be put off by styles or songs or instruments you don't like. Just jump in. I'm playing on the bass tonight, and but like I said, learning those other instruments helps you learn other things. And so don't play what I'm playing. Listen and think about what you want to do, including perhaps I'll inspire you with something, or you could do better, or in any of those ideas, or you were working on an idea, you'd like to finish it or add to it. That's great. That's what you should do. It gives you a chance to think about what to do. And that's a normal, probably a century or more old way of learning the adlib, and learning a lot of things in music is learning by rote, hearing it and trying it, hearing and trying it. So anyway, and like I said, jump right in when it's your turn, and listen to and feel the changes. That is, the chart's great. It really is useful, very helpful, but probably the most important thing is just hearing it, how the song sounds, when the changes occur, by your listening, how it sounds. So, if what we're ad-libbing seems too hard, or you don't like it, but who too hard is what I'm on right now, go look, and there's some of the charts have only got 2 chords or 1 chord, all in the same key. So, and then singing, if you get stuck and you can't think of something to do, try singing. Also, you try maybe listening to me. Maybe I'll play a little thing that you think, well, that's pretty cool. You can do that. Try to figure that out. But singing, and I want to just illustrate that real quick. And it's not, you don't have to sing well. It's just that this idea. So let's just say that you like that. You said to yourself, you sang that. And you say, well, that's cool. So you figure out how to play it on your instrument, and then it's like you got a lick. And you got another good thing about that is it's a lick that's close to you, that's inside of you. You think because you came from you. And now again, you can sound terrible. Let me just sound terrible here. So I went, but I went da 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 do. So if you can sing good enough to get a pitch that you can recognize, then that's good enough. And so I'm getting with the glasses. Yeah, look at that. So anyway, so that's a great way to prime the pump and give you ideas. So here we are, and we're fixing to get going here. And okay, so here we go. And this has got a bass right here. And one of the ways of playing the bass is actually picking it up and playing it. So let's see how that goes. And now I always feel like it's a good idea when I'm playing these fretted instruments to do a picture of the frets, what that looks like, which is this picture. And but before I do that, I want to talk about this picture, which is just a chart. Here it is. This is just a blues. Now this is a little slightly on the not dark but minorish side. I don't know why, it just seems that way. But you'll notice that the chords 1, 4, 1. Measure 1 is a 1. Measure 4 is measure 2 is a 4 chord. Measure 3 and 4 are. So let's listen to that. We're trying to absorb the changes. It's a bit country perhaps, or folky, or roots. That might be a good way to say it. Better roots. And there's the 4 chord. Listen to it. Here it comes back to home bass. Feel it? That's the 1 chord. Here comes the 5 chord. Always a measure 9 in a 12-bar blues. Measure 10 is the 4 chord again. The 1 chord. And the 5 chord. And just by the way, in 12-bar blues, which there's variations for everything, but this is a very standard one, with the one chord. Frequently is the one chord all the way through for 4 measures, and then maybe a third of the time would have the 4 chord on the second measure, and then they would have the 4 chord on the 5th and 6th measure, the 1 chord on 7 and 8, the 5 chord on measure 9, 4 chord on measure 10, the 1 chord again on measure 11, a turnaround, which is usually the 5 chord. And what I'm saying, going that length of time, is just me talking about that long. It's like, that's predictable. You can listen to millions of blues and you can say, hey, I know what's coming up. I can tell you, when we're on the 4th measure and the 5th measure or the 10th measure, and you can learn that too. And that's not just like some miracle on 42nd Street. It's a like predictable. Hey, here he goes to that the 4 chord, the 1 chord, the 2 chord, like that. Okay, so here we are back over to the picture of with the keys, and we're going to adlib. Here we go. We'll start back at the beginning. Your turn. Go. There's the 4 chord. Measure 4, measure 5, measure 6. Here's measure 7, back to the 1. Gotta enjoy it, gotta soak it up, whatever the song is about. Kind of fun, a little bit tough, so I go. Comes a big change. Measure 5, 4 chord. You're leaning for it, you're listening for it. It goes back to the 1, back to home base. Measure 9, 5 chord, let's do it. I play very simple, very little things. turn, and I'm going to stop and say, first I'm going to transit, and I'm going to stop and say, okay, so look, a blues, and a blues-based rock, there's all kind of, rock is, so many songs are based on blues. A lot of stuff in jazz is blues-oriented, or, there's changes a little different. Rock or popular traditional blues is a little different than jazz blues. Significantly different, really. But anyway, a lot of rock songs are based on blues. So anyway, so blues and blues-based rock. The point would be is that you can play with the pentatonic pattern or scale, depending on the instrument you're playing, a pattern or a scale. Same thing, really. Pattern, just a way to play a scale on a fretted instrument. It becomes a pattern. And so anyway, so the pentatonic and the blues, and here's the major, I'll do it here. That's the B flat major blues. Here's the B flat minor blues. Now, this is on this instrument. In a blues in G, we can go from G major pentatonic and blues to G minor pentatonic and blues. And I'm going to get you that sound right now, and I want you to hear that sound. Back up just. So here's. Oh, so here's the turnaround. Major, happy. Minor, sad. Happy, friendly. Minor, mean. Happy. I'll stay on the happy. Mean, mad. Now I know you can hear those different sounds, and my only point that I'm trying to make for us is that this song is in B flat blues. So we can go back and forth between, let's put away this fretted instrument, a guitar, a mandolin, a ukulele, a bass, and let's say we've got a flute, or let's say we've got a piano. And so we're using B flat pentatonic, and it's written on your chart, what I'm telling you right now. B flat, C, D, F, and G. That would be this sound, which is a friendly sound. Also, I can go to B flat minor. On this instrument, I just have to move up 3 frets. I've gone to minor. Now, for the flute, a saxophone, we have to change keys, but it's written on there. But it's just, so instead of being major, B flat, C, D, F, G, it would be B flat, D flat, E flat, F, A flat. And that would be this sound. Where was I? B flat, C, D, E flat, F, or B flat, D flat, E flat, F, A flat, which is the minor. So why would we do that? Because we would want a happy sound. Here's the happy sound would be the major. Here's the happy. Here's my turnaround, come back to the top. Happy. Minor. Happy. Minor. Major. Okay, now I'm going to end on this. We're not done in talking. If you don't want to try to change, and I don't mean it permanently, like right now, you want to stay where you are, just go minor. B flat minor on the fretted instruments. Here's a B flat, and this is going to B flat minor. And you can got the scale, if you're C instrument, the C, the B flat minor pentatonic and blues. If you're a B flat instrument, the C minor pentatonic and blues was written there. E flat instrument, it is the G minor, and the minor will sound right the entire time. You don't have to change, and it sounds like it works. The whole song's kind of mean, but that's okay. Okay, so it's going to be your turn, and so I'm going to turn this on, and here you go. Try minor. I'll go for C instruments: B flat, D flat, E flat, F, and A flat. Descent. And here you go. It's your turn. Go. This is measure 3. Okay, take another one. You're back at the top still. There's the 4 chord. Hear the sounds. You did a mean solo because it's all minor. The notes you're choosing that are available, if you stick with the B flat minor pentatonic and minor blues, are an aggressive sound. The 1 chord, measure 11. Here comes measure 12, and I'll take it my turn. Major or minor? There's the 4 chord. And the 5 chord. The 1 chord, sorry. Home bass. And the 5 chord, not home bass. Okay, it's my turn, and I will play something quickly. was watching Carol Kaye, a famous and seminal bass player, this morning, an interview with her talking about different stuff. And like so many people in the 60s, and she's part of the Wrecking Crew, famous backing group of 30, 40 different of the basically the world's most famous studio musicians, made just hundreds and hundreds of albums and stuff. Anyway, the point is that most of those people were jazz players, so very, very knowledgeable about many things, and then playing rock, and so it was very simple for them. And then they had lots of stuff they could add. Anyway, she was talking about in solo was to not do scale-based linear solos. Not talking about, she's saying, not thinking about what scale goes over this, but it was the chord tones were the coolest, and my gosh, that's what we should all be doing. And so it's a great idea, and I think the idea is it's basically, if we walk scalar, if we go da do 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 do, that sounds great. In other words, we're walking scalar. We didn't really skip. I didn't skip much in that, but then that's connected and it sounds kind of normal, and then if we skip the notes, and if we skip to the notes in a chord, the chord that's in there, then that's more exciting, or that's is exciting, and it's a contrast to the stepwise connected. So we have stepwise connected and we have leaps. So just want to comment that for the guitar, for the any of these fretted instruments, the notes of the chord, this first chord is I'm playing a note, I'm skipping a note, this note, playing this note, using this note, skipping this, using this note, and skipping this note, and using this note. So I got, those are the notes of a B flat 7 chord. Here's the notes of an E flat 7 chord, and on the bass here's the F 7 chord. And so let's try real quick. Well, I'm going to go take a solo here, and what I want you to do, and watch me, but I'm going to kind of outline my chords a little bit using my solo. I won't do it exclusively because it would get extremely predictable. But what I'm going to do is take a solo here, and I'm going to just use mostly those scale tones. It's skipping. Think of it as skipping to these tones and see what you think about it. Right there, I got to turn around. Okay, so I go, and here my... Try to skip. There's my 5 chord, my 4 chord, 1 chord, and my turnaround. Now I'll take a solo. 4 chord. You don't necessarily have to grasp all the details of that, other than what does that sound like? That's the 1 chord right now. It's a home bass. Here comes the 5 chord. Okay, now you get about a couple of minutes, just you without me interrupting, just you. Okay, well, that was the end of that. Okay, so now listen, we got to adlib, and the adlib to a blues. Now again, that blues, that blues it was not a dark. It was not dark. A lot of blues would be like, hey, and be dark, minor the whole way. This was going a major minor, but it was a little not aggressive like ugly or dark, but aggressive like kind of wanted it wasn't trying to be excessively cute, and it was, like I said, on the roots folk side, not country I wouldn't say, but folky. So anyway, and what I wanted to remind you of the things I said was about going major, parallel major minor, means the same starting note, C major, C minor, F major, F minor, and in this case B flat major pentatonic, B flat major blues, B flat major blues, B flat major pentatonic, and B flat minor blues, B flat minor pentatonic. So parallel, going back and forth between those, centering on B flat, but between those two scales like that, and then we get the major is a happier, friendlier sound, the minor is a darker, aggressive sound. If you had to choose, you would just stay with the minor. The minor would solve all your problems, but it would be monochromatic, so to speak. It would only be the heavier sound. And then we talked about chord tones, skipping notes. If you don't know what the notes of the chord are, of course, if you're playing piano, various instruments, you can't, on the guitar, the bass, these instruments can play these chords and things without having any idea what those notes are. You can't play that on the piano without really knowing what the notes are. So that means you've got a note under your hand on the piano. Just use it, do it with a rhythm. But if you don't know what the chord tones are, try using those to scale, play a note and skip a note or two. And the skipping adds tension because it's not as predictable. There's the dimensions in your soloing that you would have linear connected things, and you'd have things where you leap about, and that makes things interesting. Not better. It's just that if you always leapt about, it would be boring because it was predictable. Oh gosh, he's always leaping around and skipping. And then if he's always linear, then it's boring because he always never misses. He goes from one note to the next, walking up and down. So we want to mix those things up. So these are ideas you would try. So anyway, so now, like I said, if you like this, you need to hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications. You need to share this with people. You need to send me money, bearer bonds, vehicles, things like that. And please share these videos. And send me your email. I'll send you this track if you like it. And keep coming back and with this track and get great at it. Find other tracks on here and play with them and get excellent. And then and let me know if you got ideas for new things. And as always, I want you to, until I see you again, I want you to have fun and I want you to be awesome.